And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, from Berlin Raceway. I'm introducing to you Andrew Postma. Andrew, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Zane. Appreciate it.
Okay, so I started hearing rumblings, and I didn't know what it was. I mean, I see on Facebook, Berlin, SRX. What is that? What is that? And then I happen to be in the presence of one Mike Striegel, track GM, and I'm like, I need to know more. How did this happen? What is going on? Can you please fill people in as to what is happening here and just how special this is coming up August 3rd?
Yeah, happy to do it. So a little bit of the backstory. We had heard rumblings ourselves over the fall and leading into the winter here that we might be in the running for this SRX. For those that don't know what it is, it's Superstar Racing Experience. So this is the biggest of the biggest names in racing. They're going into their third year of operation. And it's something, they only do 6 races a year. So this is extremely limited, something that any short track in the country would be honored to have. So we had heard rumblings we might be in the running. Sure enough, it comes to fruition. We found out on a Friday in December that we would have the opportunity to host them on August 3rd. And yeah, the rest has been built up in driver announcements and a lot of fun so far.
Okay, so before we get to the who's who that's coming here, if I'm understanding this correctly, I have a limited knowledge base. 12 cars on the track.
Correct.
In the field. SRX brings the cars, and then drivers are put into those cars. It's kind of like a auto racing in the same type of thought process of like monster truck, except they're not driving over trucks. They're racing on the track.
For sure. So that's what's unique about what they do. You've been out here for our weekly racing. Drivers have cars set up, and there's all different divisions and different things going on. SRX, they're identically prepared race cars. Theoretically is what's going on here. They're all prepared, identical, and then you do put some of the best racing talent in the world behind the wheel of that machine. Some of these names that we'll talk about have been to Berlin before, some more than others. Some are going to be sight unseen when they show up on August 3rd. But the idea is level the playing field. Let's put a whole lot of talent behind the wheels of these 12 cars and see what happens.
I love that. Also, from our beautiful Berlin Raceway in Marne, Michigan, this is going around the world on TV.
Correct. So that is a unique component. New this year, the 2 previous seasons of SRX, they've had a deal with CBS Saturday night. This year, they have moved to ESPN. It's going to be on Thursday nights now, 9 o'clock on ESPN. So a little bit of a later time slot for those here. But it is going to be on ESPN. It's going to be broadcast across the world. Crazy exposure out of that, and what that's done, the move to Thursday night and ESPN has freed them up to bring in even bigger names than we have before. So this thing's really taken off.
That way you could get because some of the drivers they're driving for NASCAR, so they're getting plucked, dropped into the middle of the week Thursday. And then they can still do their day job of driving in NASCAR races.
For sure, which is why this kind of worked out nicely and in our favor, and why you've seen some of the big hitters that we've seen committed to this August 3rd event. They do race at MIS the Sunday after they're here. So that did free up the schedule for several of these guys to, they'll fly in obviously Thursday. They get to have a little bit of fun before they go to work for the weekend down in Brooklyn.
Nice. And the drivers are all super pumped about it. They love the idea. They're clamoring. You have Hall of Fame drivers that are fighting over who gets to go practically.
Correct. Which is pretty cool for somebody like Berlin to sit here and the names that we've heard you're exactly right. They've had so many asks for Berlin contracts per se for this event. And it's been pretty cool to watch that all play out.
Now, Andrew, when I last bit of information I had, I was up to speed on Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Helio Castroneves, and Jeff was kind of He wasn't saying officially about Tony Stewart. That's as far as I went. Now, I understand you have information that is just developing.
Yeah, so those three were the first three confirmed. Like you said, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Helio Castroneves, all huge names. So we came out of the gate strong. Tony Stewart, we presume, will be here. He's part owner of SRX, very involved. So we presume he's run all of the races previous. So we presume he'll be one of the drivers in that field. Don't know that for sure yet. Okay. He hasn't been confirmed. But yesterday afternoon, the phone rings and we find out that going live is Brad Keselowski, NASCAR Cup Series driver. Haley Deegan is running full-time for SRX, meaning she'll be in Marne. She's a Craftsman Truck Series driver, as well as Bobby Labonte and Ryan Newman as well.
Bobby Labonte's kicking it around. How about that?
Bobby Labonte will be here. I'll be honest, he was a little before my time. I won't lie to you, but there were some people that were real excited about that one for sure.
Okay, you said Bobby Labonte, and what was the last one?
Ryan Newman.
Oh, of course. Okay, you get a box of food showing up at your door from HelloFresh. Best day ever. You're like, oh, man, I cannot wait to open that thing up. That amazing packaging that keeps everything cold and fantastic. You pull out the meals. You're right. We're going to eat like queens and kings at this household with these meals from HelloFresh. Best day ever. Bonus, you get 65% off that box. Plus free shipping. Oh, my God. HelloFresh has never had a deal like this, and it's only because you are a listener of the Eric Zane Show podcast. HelloFresh.com/Zane65 and use the code Zane65. You get 65% off plus free shipping. That's incredible. HelloFresh.com/Zane65 and then use the code Zane65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Man, I'm telling you, this is life-changing. The food shows up at the door, everything laid out perfectly. If you know how to read, then you know how to cook amazing meals for your family. Okay? Problem if you don't know how to read. Track down someone in your inner circle who knows how to read, and they will help you. That's how simple this is. HelloFresh, the absolute best fast and fresh recipes. HelloFresh's latest line of meals featuring robust flavors and filling portions are ready in less than 15 minutes. Enjoy taste and quality done quick with recipes like, get this, falafel power bowls. What? Seared steak and potatoes with béarnaise sauce. I had to practice saying that. Or Southwest pork and bean burritos. You'll find quality ingredients in HelloFresh's recipes. In fact, ingredients travel from the farm to your home in less than 7 days, so you know they're fresh. Okay? Again, go to HelloFresh.com/Zane65. Use code Zane65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Check it out. HelloFresh. Okay, it's time to cut through the clutter with all of the information about online betting. MyBookie. That's all you need to know. MyBookie. New year, new you. When I say new you, I mean because you're going to MyBookie. Give yourself a fresh start with MyBookie. Whether you bet to earn, which some people do because they're good at it, or just to have some fun, MyBookie gives you the most for your money with their redesigned deposit bonus. Just use promo code ZANE on a deposit of $50 or more to receive a cash bonus instantly to your MyBookie account. Try it out. MyBookie. Promo code ZANE. Using this bonus is simple. Bet your deposit amount just once and you're ready to cash out. It's no strings attached with MyBookie. Promo code ZANE. Bet on the NFL, UFC, play for a share of big cash prizes in the weekly online blackjack tournaments. You name it, MyBookie has you covered. With so many brands to choose from, you need a platform that makes it simple to bet and win. Like MyBookie. Promo code ZANE. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Ryan Newman. So this thing has kind of been the gift that keeps on giving, if you will.
Yeah, that is so exciting. So now we have 7 of the 12. We're presuming Tony Stewart would be 8. And this information keeps being put forth. Now, last time I was talking about this was on the radio this past week, and people were buying tickets as we were talking about. I mean, it's every time it's discussed, people are like, oh yeah, that's right, I got to get those tickets. You must get these tickets now. Can you tell everybody how to get these tickets? Because it's going to sell out. Everything's going to be sold out sooner than you think.
100%. We are well on our way to selling out. We've got a little spot on a whiteboard that we're checking the mile markers as we hit them towards the sellout, and we're getting up there. We're getting up there for sure. Tickets at berlinraceway.com. There's a drop down there under the tickets tab specifically for the SRX event on August 3rd. All we have remaining at this point are general admission. We've blown through the preferred seating. We've blown through the pit passes. We've got GA tickets left, and those are flying as well. So they're definitely going quick.
I am so excited about this. I'm getting chills thinking about, because, as the years have passed, you've added more seating and things like that and made it so much more of a special experience. And, and I've seen some great crowds there for the amazing drivers that you bring in on a weekly basis. But this is going to be bonkers, man. I'm so excited for you guys.
We're looking forward to it as well. It's been pretty cool. As you mentioned, Jeff is running the show these days around here. He's brought a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement, a lot of good things to Berlin. And it's cool to be a part of it. And this kind of affirms we're going places to be able to host an event like this. This
is so sweet. How much now, if you have everything is full, how many people do you think can pack into there?
I think we're going to be all of 10,000 people that It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. We're gonna pack them in here.
Yeah. So logistically, you've got all these VIPs and their families and stuff coming in. There's a lot of extra things you guys have to prepare for. It's a good thing you have this much time.
For sure. We've definitely dove into some of that. I think for now, we've been trying to ride out the fun part of the buzz, the excitement, the driver roster. Yes, time is on our side right now, but we've definitely got to crack down into some of the logistics. And yeah, like you said, you're going to have some pretty big name drivers and families and sponsors, and you're going to see. We've even heard, Kevin Harvick's spotter has commented that he's going to come up for the race because they're already going to be in Michigan. It's like, okay, we might as well go watch our guy. There's going to be a large portion of the racing world here.
Now, in the event, I was talking with Jeff about this. In the event, there's someone listening to this podcast who has money to burn. And because I don't know if you've gotten as far as a title sponsor so that on ESPN, they'd be saying, welcome to the Eric Zane Show, SRX, the sponsor name on it.
Right.
People can contact Berlin about dropping down a serious amount of change, but for an unbelievable amount of exposure because it's going out on TV and everywhere else.
It would be going worldwide. We are still in search of a title sponsor. I thought that the Eric Zane SRX event had a nice ring to it. So, I'm just throwing that out there.
It does. But maybe in a couple of years, Andrew.
Sounds good.
I talked with Jeff about this, but I want to know, some of the great drivers that populate the track week to week. Will any of those folks have an opportunity to drive?
So this has been a little bit of a hot button topic. Years previous, SRX has done what they call a house car or a hero car for a local racer. This year, what they have told us is that they are not going to be doing that this season because the interest in the names have grown substantially. So we had hopes to get an Evan Shotko, a Tim DeVos, a Brian Campbell, a local somebody in that field as they've done previous. Unfortunately, the way it's been laid out to us, that won't be an option this year. We do have on August 3rd, our limited late models are going to run. They're going to kick off the show for us that evening. Good. So we're going to get some local flavor in that night, but it just won't be in that SRX field.
I can't say enough about all those local drivers and those crews who do it because they love it. And every time I've gone, they haven't let me down. I've always had a fun time. It's a great value. It is such an unbelievable. I hate to call it a secret because it shouldn't be, because of how affordable and amazing it is to see racing at Berlin. And I can't say enough about it. So I want to encourage people to go often to Berlin Raceway this upcoming season. Spring's right around the corner. I mean, Daytona 500's in a few weeks, right?
It is. We're coming up on it for sure.
Okay. Well, Andrew, is there anything that we're missing on this exciting event coming up August 3rd?
I don't think so. I think we've touched on it all. The field's going to be stacked. This place is going to be rocking. It's going to be, I mean, truly, and I think you and Jeff kind of touched on it a little bit on the radio too with Huge there. As far as events that Grand Rapids, West Michigan has hosted, this is going to be an all-star game of racing, essentially, is the way I've been explaining it to friends and stuff like that. So it's going to be a big one for sure. Appreciate it.
Yes. Okay. Well, Andrew, thank you very much. Give everybody my best over there, and I will talk to you down the road.
We'll do. Sounds good, Zane.
All right.
Progressive presents Adjusting to the Suburbs.
I never thought I'd care about gardening until I bought a house in the suburbs. But now I find myself in conversations about liquid fertilizer, and I wonder, am I the fertilizer guy now? No way. Everyone knows the ratio between phosphorus and nitrogen, right? Yeah, I'm still totally cool.
Anyway, when you save with Progressive by bundling your home and auto, that's the easy part of adjusting to the suburbs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided in service by affiliates and third-party insurers.